They called her Barren. They laughed at her pain. They said she would never become a mother. But one day, something happened that no one ever saw coming. A change that shocked everyone, even the ones who mocked her. What was this change? And how did her tears turn into joy? Sit back and find out as we dive into this unbelievable story. In one of the choice areas of Abuja, there stood a fine and beautiful house. Anyone who passed by would smile and say, "This home must be full of joy." But what no one knew was that beyond those beautiful walls, there was a hidden battle that no one could see. A quiet war was going on in that house. And the woman at the center of it was Joyce. Joyce sat on the couch, her head low, tears filling her eyes. Standing in front of her was an elderly woman, Mama Agartha, her mother-in-law. Her voice was loud. Her words were sharp. She felt weak and empty. "You have wasted 6 years of my son's life," Mama Agartha shouted. "I don't know why my son Adam is still keeping you in this house. You are barren. You cannot even give him one child. What is your use in this house?" Joyce squeezed her fingers together and stared at the floor. Her heart was breaking. She wished the ground would open and hide her from this shame. She felt weak and empty. These insults had become usual for Joyce. Day after day, the same hurtful words, the same reminder that she had no child. But Mama Agartha was not the only one. Other members of Adam's family also mocked her. They whispered when she passed by. They looked at her with eyes full of blame. Adam, her husband, tried his best to protect her, but no matter what he said, they always found a way to hurt her. But things were not always like this. Joyce's story did not begin with tears. Unlike many stories that start in pain and end in joy, her story began with joy, but life had other plans. Adam's life changed the year before their wedding. He got a big contract from a real estate company, and everything moved fast from there. He became successful. Money began to flow. His family celebrated. Joyce believed God had smiled on them. And after their wedding, Adam told her one thing over and over. "Joyce, you do not need to work. I have more than enough to give you the life you deserve. Let me take care of you." Joyce did not agree. She wanted to do something with her life. But Adam was the kind of man who believed his wife should stay at home. Joyce loved him, so she gave up her passion to keep peace in the house. At first, everything was sweet. They laughed. They planned their future. They waited for children. But after 3 years, no child came. People expected to hear good news, but no medical checks yielded any positive news. When they went to the hospital, the doctor looked at them and said, "You both are fine." Joyce smiled outside, but inside, she was scared. Adam tried to stay strong, but she could see worry in his eyes. 3 more years passed. Still, nothing. That was when Mama Agartha came to live with them. And from that day, Joyce's tears became more than her joy. "You are a barren woman," the elderly woman shouted again in the living room. Joyce sat still on the couch, feeling like she was sinking. Every word from Mama Agartha felt like another heavy stone on her chest. Joyce looked around the room. Her heart was breaking slowly. Every single day. And deep in her soul, she prayed silently, "God, please, do not forget me. Please wipe these tears away from my eyes." One quiet Saturday afternoon, Joyce went to the market to buy a few things for the house. The moment the door closed behind her, Mama Agartha called out, "Adam, come to the living room. I want to speak with you." Adam walked in slowly and sat down. He already knew the tone in his mother's voice. It was never good news. Mama Agartha folded her arms and looked at him with sharp eyes. "Adam," she said, "are you not tired? Over 6 years now? And still no child." Adam kept his eyes on the floor. Deep down, he was tired. He loved Joyce, but the delay was breaking his heart. His friends already had children. People were asking questions. He felt pressure from everywhere, but he would never admit it out loud. "I still love my wife, and the doctor said that there's nothing wrong with both of us," Adam said calmly. Mama Agartha leaned forward. "Love does not give children. You need a new woman. A woman who can give us a child who will carry this family name." Adam looked up quickly, shocked. "Mama!" How can you say that? He said in a firm voice. Joyce is my wife. I will not leave her. I will not hurt her. Mama Agartha hissed loudly. You are blind. You will regret this, Adam. One day you will wake up and there will be no one to call you father. Think well, my son. Adam stood up. His voice was shaking, but he tried to stay strong. I said no. Please do not talk about this again. He left the living room and walked straight to his bedroom, closing the door behind him. That night, Joyce slept peacefully beside him. But Adam could not sleep. His eyes stayed open. His heart felt heavy. His mother's words kept playing in his head like a drum. A new wife. No heir. 6 years wasted. He turned his head and looked at Joyce's face. She looked so calm, so innocent. Her hand rested on the pillow, close to his. He loved her. He really did. But what if she never became a mother? What if the doctor was wrong? He remembered what the doctor said. You are both fine. Adam rubbed his forehead slowly. He wished he could make a miracle happen. He wished he could take away all this pain. He whispered softly, God, please help us. But he knew that the real battle had just begun, because his mother would not stop, and soon everyone would know exactly how far she was willing to go. And Adam feared one thing the most. What if this 6 years turns to forever? 1 week later, Mama Agartha called for a family meeting in Adam's house. All the immediate family members arrived. They sat in the living room with serious faces. Joyce sat beside Adam on the couch, her hands shaking. She knew something bad was coming. Mama Agartha stood up and spoke first. All of us know why we are here, she said. This woman has stayed in our family for over 6 years with nothing to show, no child. Joyce felt her heart squeeze. She could not even look up. Another uncle spoke. Adam, you cannot continue like this. You need a child who will continue your father's lineage when you are no more. If your wife, Joyce, cannot give you one, then we must find a woman who can. Adam looked at them in shock. Joyce stared at her knees. She wanted to speak, but no words came. She already felt like she did not belong here anymore. She felt small, like a stranger in her own home. The hurtful words continued. You wasted our time. You are not a real woman. A married woman without a child is not worthy to be called a wife. Tears rolled down Joyce's cheeks. She covered her face with her hands. Even Adam could not take it anymore. That is enough, he shouted, standing up. This is my home. I am the head here. I will run my house the way I want. Every one of you leave now. The room went silent. One of the women stood up and looked at Adam with a cold smile. This is not a home until there are children, she said. You have nothing to prove us wrong. Adam wanted to argue, but inside his heart, he knew they had hit his weak spot. He became speechless. One by one, they picked their bags and left the house. Mama Agartha stood and pointed at Adam. Think well, she said. I will not allow you to close your father's lineage. The house fell quiet. Later that evening, the weight on Adam's shoulders felt too heavy. He needed air. He needed escape. He went out to a bar with his friends. They laughed. They drank. They talked about their families. My daughter got first position in school, one friend said proudly. Adam sat there silent. He felt like he did not belong in that circle anymore. Then one friend looked at him closely. Adam, are you not tired? He asked. 6 years, brother. 6 years with no child. Why not get another wife? Those words hit Adam hard. He forced a smile. He did not want to admit the truth. He loved Joyce, but life was pushing him to a corner. He felt trapped. When he finally drove home, his mind was heavy. Too many voices, too many opinions, too much pressure. As he walked into the living room, he saw Joyce sitting alone. Her eyes were red from crying all day. Her face was sad. The words from the family were still echoing in her ears. Adam looked at her, this woman who had been nothing but good to him. He looked at himself, a man drowning in pressure. He did not know what to say. He did not know how to feel. So he walked past her and went straight to the bedroom. Joyce watched him leave. Her heart sank deeper. Both of them were hurting. Both of them were lost. From that night, something began to grow between Adam and Joyce. A quiet distance. At first, Adam only wanted a little space to clear his mind. But he did not know that this space would slowly push his marriage into darkness. Days passed. Then weeks. Adam stopped comforting Joyce the way he used to. When Mama Agartha mocked Joyce, he sometimes walked past as if he did not hear anything. He no longer stood up for her. He did not hold her hands. He was lost in his own fear. Joyce felt the change. One evening, when Adam walked into the living room and Mama Agartha began again, "You are a barren woman. I don't even know why you are still here." Joyce looked at Adam, waiting for him to defend her, but he kept walking and entered his bedroom without a word. Joyce's eyes filled with tears immediately. Mama Agartha smiled. She knew her plans were working. One afternoon, Mama Agartha called Adam to the living room. When he walked in, he stopped. Beside his mother sat a young woman he had never seen before. She sat with her hands together on her lap, looking calm and gentle. Mama Agartha spoke with a sweet voice. "Adam, meet Elena," she said. "She is a very good woman." Elena looked up at Adam with a small smile. "Good afternoon, sir," she said quietly. "My name is Elena." Adam gave a slow nod, still confused why his mother had invited her. He went to sit down. Elena stood up and sat down beside him, but not too close. She spoke in a kind, sweet tone. Her words touched him. For the first time in a long while, someone spoke to ease his burden instead of adding more. Mama Agartha sat back, watching like a hunter watching her prey walk into a trap. As days went by, Elena kept coming to the house. She would talk to Adam, listen to him, and smile at him in a way that made him feel understood. Joyce noticed it. She saw how Adam's face changed when Elena was around. She saw how he listened to Elena, the way he once listened to her. One evening, Adam and Elena were talking in the living room. Joyce walked in, holding a cup of water. She stood there, hoping Adam would look at her, say something or smile. But Adam did not notice her. He was lost in Elena's soft voice. Joyce turned around quietly and walked back to the bedroom. Her heart grew heavier than ever. The distance between husband and wife was now wide, and Elena was slowly filling the empty space Adam left behind. What Joyce did not know was that the real danger was not just the distance, but what would happen if Adam's heart finally crossed over to someone else. Days passed slowly, and the distance between Adam and Joyce became a wide wall that no one could climb. Adam stopped caring about Joyce. He no longer asked if she had eaten. He no longer asked if she was fine. His heart had drifted far away. Elena took that chance. She stayed close to Adam. She spoke to him softly day and night. Soon, their relationship became strong. Too strong. One day, Adam made a choice that shocked everyone. "I want to marry Elena," he told Mama Agartha. Mama Agartha clapped her hands in joy. She wasted no time. The wedding was small and done in a quiet, traditional way. And that afternoon, Elena entered the house not as a visitor, but as Adam's second wife. From the first night, Elena began to show her true character. She looked at Joyce with pride in her eyes. "This is my house now," she said one evening. "You should know your place." Joyce kept quiet, but the pain in her heart kept growing every day. She no longer slept beside Adam. She now slept alone in a separate room, like she was no longer a wife, like she had no worth anymore. As if that was not enough, Elena started causing trouble between them. Sometimes she would lie against Joyce. "Adam, she insulted me. Adam, she took my things." Adam never asked Joyce for her side of the story. He always shouted at her. He always believed Elena. One day, Elena started feeling sick. Adam quickly took her to the clinic. After tests were done, the doctor smiled. "Congratulations," he said. "You are pregnant." Adam's heart jumped with joy. He hugged Elena tightly. For the first time in years, he felt hope. Mama Agartha almost danced. "A real woman," she shouted. "God has blessed us." From that day, Elena walked around with pride. She would look at Joyce and laugh. "You stayed here for over 6 years," she said. "And yet no child. What type of woman are you?" Joyce went into her room, locked the door, and cried. She prayed hard every night. She begged God to help her. But the storm was still not over. One afternoon, Adam was in his study going through some documents. Suddenly, he heard a loud scream. "Ah! Help me!" He rushed out with fear in his heart. He saw Elena on the floor crying and holding her stomach. Joyce stood a few steps away, shocked and confused. Elena pointed at Joyce and shouted, "She pushed me! She wants me to lose my baby!" Adam's eyes widened. "Joyce, why would you do that?" he shouted. Joyce shook her head, crying. "No, Adam, I did not touch her. She fell by herself. Please believe me. I will never hurt her." But Adam was blind with anger. "You are evil!" he shouted. "You are jealous! You want to destroy my happiness!" He walked into Joyce's room in anger and grabbed Joyce's clothes from the wardrobe. He packed them into bags and threw them out into the compound. Joyce fell to her knees, holding his leg. "Adam, please, we built this life together. Please do not do this. I have done nothing wrong." Elena stood behind him, smiling quietly. Her plan had worked. Adam pulled his leg away from Joyce. "Leave my house now," he shouted. "If you ever step into this house again, you will regret it." Joyce looked at Adam with heartbreak. She could not believe this was the man she loved. She picked up her bag slowly. Tears ran down her face. "I do not know what wrong I have done," she whispered. "God sees my heart." With weak steps, she walked away from the gate, away from her home, away from the man she once trusted with her whole soul. The road ahead looked empty. Her future looked dark. But she kept walking, not knowing that life still had a story for her. Joyce kept walking through the streets, crying and thinking about everything that had happened. Hours passed, and the sun began to go down. That was when a frightening thought hit her. Where will I sleep tonight? She stopped by the roadside and sat on a low cement block. Cars passed, people walked by, but no one cared about the woman with tears in her eyes. Joyce took out her phone and tried to call a few of her friends. Friends who were doing well. Friends she had helped before. But every call ended the same way. "Ah, Joyce, I wish I could help, but my house is full. My husband will not allow it. I am not at home. Try someone else." Joyce dropped her phone on her lap. She felt forgotten. She felt alone. She covered her face with both hands and prayed quietly. "Oh God, please help me." Just then she remembered someone. A friend named Selena, a woman who was also struggling in life. Joyce had once helped her with some money when she needed it. Joyce did not want to bother her, but she had no choice. Her fingers shook as she dialed the number. "Hello?" Selena's voice came from the phone. Joyce tried to sound strong, but her voice broke. "Selena, please, can I stay at your place tonight? Just tonight." There was silence for a moment. Then Selena asked, "What happened? Why will you sleep outside? You have your husband's house." Joyce wiped her tears. "It is a long story. Please, I will explain everything when I come." Selena's voice softened. "All right, come. You can stay with me. You are my friend." Later that night, Joyce arrived at Selena's small apartment. The room was tiny, with just one bed and a small chair, but it felt like safety. Selena looked at Joyce's swollen eyes. "My sister? What happened?" she asked gently. Joyce told her everything, from the insults to the pregnancy, to being pushed out like she was nothing. Selena held her hand and said, "Joyce, you are welcome here. You can stay for as long as you want. I don't have much, but we will manage together. You are not alone." Joyce could not hold her tears anymore. She cried in Selena's arms, whispering, "Thank you. Thank you so much." Selena nodded. "God sees everything. Your tears today will not be forever." Joyce lay on the bed and closed her eyes. Her chest still hurt. Her heart still ached. But for the first time that day, she felt a small light of hope. She did not know how tomorrow would be. She did not know what her future held. But she knew one thing. This was not the end of her story. 2 days passed in Selena's small room. Joyce watched how hard Selena worked just to buy food for both of them. Selena woke early. She came back late. Joyce did not want to be a burden. She wanted to help with the bills. So the next morning, Joyce packed her files and wore the neat shirt and skirt she still had. She stepped out with hope. She walked from one office to another, smiling and asking for work. But the answer was always the same. "How many years of work experience do you have?" Joyce would look down. "I do not have experience, sir. Sorry, we cannot take you." She heard that again and again. Every rejection felt like another slap. She remembered how Adam never allowed her to work. Now she was paying the price. One afternoon, as Joyce was walking back home with tired legs and a tired heart, she saw a small food shop with a paper pasted at the door that said, "Help needed." She stopped and looked at the shop. It was not the kind of job she dreamed of, but she needed something. Anything. She stood for a moment, thinking, should I try? Will they accept me? Finally, she took a deep breath and walked in. "Good afternoon, Ma," Joyce said to the shop owner. "I saw the sign outside. Please, I can work. I will do anything." The woman looked at her from head to toe. At first, she shook her head. "I don't think you can do this kind of job," she said. "You look like someone from a rich background." Joyce almost cried, but she begged. "Please, Ma, I really need this job. Let me try. You will not regret it." After thinking for a moment, the woman agreed. "All right, you can start tomorrow." Joyce's face lit up with relief. She thanked her again and again. That night, she told Selena about the job. Selena smiled and hugged her. "My sister, God is opening a new door for you." And the job even gave Joyce one meal every day. She always shared it with Selena at night. Days passed. Joyce worked hard in the food shop. She was still healing from heartbreak, but she was moving forward. One morning, as she got ready for work, she suddenly felt dizzy. The room turned around her. Before she could sit, she fell to the floor and everything went dark. When she opened her eyes again, she was on a bed in a small clinic. Selena sat beside her, holding her hand and smiling. "You scared me," Selena said softly. Joyce blinked. What happened? Just then, the doctor walked in with a small file in his hand. "Madam Joyce," he said, "you are 4 weeks pregnant." Joyce sat up quickly. "Pregnant?" she asked. Her voice shook with shock. "Yes," the doctor nodded. "Some women do not see early signs of pregnancy, but you are fine. The baby is fine." Joyce touched her stomach slowly. Tears filled her eyes, not of sadness, but of surprise. After the doctor left, Selena looked at her and whispered, "Will you tell Adam?" Joyce shook her head. "No. He made it clear he does not want me. So I will take care of my baby myself. God will help me." Selena held her hand tightly. "You are strong, Joyce. This child will be your blessing." Joyce looked up at the ceiling and whispered a prayer. Maybe life was giving her a new reason to live. In that same city, far away from Joyce's troubles, a great event was happening. Mr. Marcus, a 50-year-old billionaire, was launching a brand new hospital for the poor and needy. People clapped. Cameras flashed. Reporters surrounded him. Mr. Marcus smiled as he spoke to the crowd. "I know what it means to suffer," he said. "I grew up with nothing. My mother struggled to send me to school. Today, God has lifted me, so I must lift others too." The crowd cheered louder. He cut the ribbon, and the doors of the hospital opened for the first time. It was the biggest charity project the city had seen, and Mr. Marcus was proud that the hospital would help people who had no money, just like he once had none. Back in Selena's small room, Joyce was trying her best to build a new life. She had told her boss about her pregnancy. Her boss congratulated her and promised to support her in the little way she could. Joyce continued working and saving little by little. She saved for antenatal checkups. She saved for delivery. She saved for the future of her child. She could not afford a scan, so she did not know if the baby was a boy or a girl. But she talked to her belly every night. "My child, you are my hope. You are my reason to smile again." Selena always watched Joyce smiling. "God has finally remembered you," she would say. Joyce grew stronger each day. The tears she once cried started to fade. There was now a light in her eyes. Months passed slowly. Her stomach became big and heavy. One afternoon, her boss at the food shop called her. "Joyce, you have worked hard, but now you must rest. I don't want anything to hurt you or your baby. Go home and take care of yourself." Joyce thanked her boss with tears of gratitude. She stopped working and focused on her health. Every kick inside her belly reminded her that God was writing a new chapter in her life. She did not know how the future would look. She did not know how she would raise this child alone. But she had faith. Weeks passed. Joyce's belly grew bigger and heavier. Selena was always there to help, cooking for her, helping her walk, and keeping her company. Then one morning, everything changed. Joyce reached out to take a cup of water from the table in front of her. Selena was getting ready to go to work. But suddenly, Joyce held her stomach and screamed in pain. "Selena! Something is happening!" she cried. Her water had broken. Selena rushed to her side, trying to calm her. "Sit down, Joyce. Breathe. I am here." Joyce moaned softly, tears in her eyes. Selena quickly ran outside to the roadside and stopped a taxi. "Please help us, my friend is in labor," she shouted. She ran back inside, helped Joyce up, and together they got into the taxi, heading straight to the small clinic where Joyce had been doing her antenatal care. When they arrived, nurses rushed Joyce into the labor room. Selena waited outside, praying. Minutes later, the doctor came out with a worried look. "Is she your family?" he asked. "Yes, doctor," Selena replied nervously. "Has she ever done a scan?" he asked again. Selena shook her head. "No, doctor. We could not afford it." The doctor sighed. "There is a strong chance she has more than one baby in her womb. She does not have the strength to push them out. She needs surgery." Selena's hands trembled. "Surgery? But this clinic, can you do it here?" The doctor shook his head slowly. "No, we do not have the right equipment for that. You must take her to a bigger hospital now. If we wait too long, it may be dangerous for her and the babies." Fear filled Selena's eyes. "Doctor, we have no money," she whispered. But the doctor looked at her with kindness. "There is a new big hospital not too far from here," he said. "They just opened. It is a charity hospital. Treatments are free for now. I will help you get her there." Selena almost cried from relief. "Thank you, doctor. Please, help us." Immediately, the doctor arranged an ambulance. Nurses lifted Joyce onto a stretcher and pushed her into the ambulance. Selena held her hand the whole way, whispering prayers. At the new hospital, doctors rushed Joyce into the theater. The surgery began. Hours later, the doctor came out smiling. "Congratulations," he said. "She has given birth to 4 babies, 2 boys and 2 girls." Selena covered her mouth in joy. Tears filled her eyes. "4?" she asked. "Yes," the doctor nodded proudly. "They are all fine, and she is safe." The hospital staff were amazed. It was their first case of quadruplets. The story spread quickly. Soon, the news was everywhere. People were shocked. A woman had given birth to not 1, not 2, but 4 children. The world was about to find out. And everything in Joyce's life was about to change forever. The day after Joyce gave birth, the hospital staff came into her room with papers and cameras. "Madam Joyce," a nurse said gently, "we need to take records. Not many women give birth to 4 babies at once." Joyce nodded, still weak but grateful. Then, that afternoon, something surprising happened. Government officials arrived at the hospital with security officers and reporters, microphones, cameras, bright lights. Everyone wanted to see the woman who gave birth to quadruplets. The reporters asked questions. "Where's your husband? Does he know you gave birth to 4 babies? Why is he not here?" Joyce took a deep breath. Her voice was soft but steady. "My husband pushed me out because I could not give him a child," she said. "But after I left, I discovered I was already pregnant. He has remarried. He does not care about me, and I cannot go back to him." The room fell silent. Even the reporters lowered their microphones. Everyone could feel her pain in those few words. Then a woman from the government stepped forward with a warm smile. "Madam Joyce," she said, "the government is here to support you. You are a strong woman. We want to help you and your children." They gave her grants to help with food, health, and baby needs. Joyce could not stop crying. For the first time in a very long time, life was smiling at her again. In another part of the city, a large office building stood tall. Inside the top-floor office, Mr. Marcus, the billionaire who built the new hospital, was seated behind his desk. He was watching the news on the large TV screen in front of him. Joyce's face was on the screen. Her voice filled the room. Mr. Marcus leaned forward, listening closely. He remembered the story his mother told him about what she went through because of childlessness before she finally had him after a decade of humiliation. He remembered how his own mother had suffered when people mocked her. He remembered the tears, the shame, the nights without sleep. His heart tightened. This was not just a story. It was a pain he understood too well. He watched Joyce hold one of the babies and smile a tired smile. He said quietly to himself, "This woman has suffered enough. I must help her." He picked up his phone and called someone. "Find out everything about that woman," he said. "I want to meet her." Little did Joyce know. Her life was about to change again, and this time, the change would be bigger than anything she had ever imagined. 2 days later, Joyce was still in the hospital, slowly getting back her strength. Carrying 4 babies in her womb and giving birth to them had drained her body. She lay on the bed, holding one of her babies, while the others slept in tiny cots beside her. That afternoon, the door opened gently. A tall man in a neat suit walked in with 2 security officers behind him. It was Mr. Marcus. Joyce looked up, surprised. He gave her a warm smile and walked closer. "Good afternoon, Madam Joyce," he said kindly. "I saw your story on TV. It touched my heart deeply. My mother once suffered like you. I know how pain can break a woman, so I came to help." Joyce's eyes widened. "Sir, thank you." "I don't even know what to say," she replied, with weak tears in her eyes. Mr. Marcus sat beside her bed. "Tell me, Joyce," he asked softly, "do you have any skill or something you can do to take care of these children, since there is no man supporting you now?" Joyce nodded slowly. "I studied accounting in school. I graduated with first class. But my ex-husband did not allow me to work. He always said he would take care of me. He insisted he doesn't want his wife to work under anyone. I did not agree with his thinking, but I kept quiet to keep peace in the home. And after I left him, companies wanted workers with experience. I have none." Mr. Marcus sighed. Her story touched him even more. "You worked hard in school," he said. "You deserve a chance in life, and I want to help you." Joyce covered her mouth, shocked. "Sir, are you truly going to do this for me?" she asked. "Yes," Mr. Marcus replied firmly. "You will not suffer again." Tears rolled down Joyce's cheeks. "Thank you, sir. God will bless you," she whispered. Mr. Marcus reached into his pocket and gave Joyce a business card. "Call me when you're strong enough," he said, "when you and the babies are discharged." Then he stood up and quietly left the room. Joyce lay there, crying tears of joy. Later that night in his office, Mr. Marcus called his personal assistant. "Prepare a managerial office in the accounting department of my biggest company," he ordered, "and get a house ready in a nice estate. I want everything set as soon as possible." "Yes, sir," the PA responded. Mr. Marcus relaxed in his seat. Helping Joyce brought peace to his heart. 1 week later, Joyce called him as he instructed. He sent his driver to pick her up. Selena came along to support her friend. The car stopped in front of a beautiful building in a clean and quiet estate. Mr. Marcus stood beside a sleek black SUV, waiting for them. When they stepped out of the car, he smiled. "Welcome." He led them inside the compound. Then he placed a key in Joyce's hand. "This is your house now," he said. Joyce stood still, frozen. "My house?" she whispered. Her voice shook. "Yes," Mr. Marcus nodded. "You are the owner." Joyce dropped to her knees, crying. "Sir, I don't deserve this. Thank you. Thank you, sir," she sobbed. He gently helped her stand. "You deserve good things, Joyce. After 6 months of nursing your babies, I will hire a nanny. You will start work in my company. I am preparing a managerial position for you in one of my companies." Joyce covered her face, crying even louder. All the pain she had carried inside finally started to melt. Then Mr. Marcus turned to Selena. "You are a true friend," he said. "You stood by her when no one else did. If you will not mind, there is a position for you in another branch of my companies. It comes with good pay and an apartment." Selena gasped and covered her mouth, tears running down. "Sir, thank you. I don't know how to thank you. I will never forget this," she said with a shaking voice. Mr. Marcus smiled. "You both will start a new life here," he said. "Let the past stay behind you." Joyce and Selena looked at each other, crying and laughing at the same time. For the first time in a long while, life felt safe again. 6 months passed. Joyce now lived in the beautiful home Mr. Marcus gave her. She had started work as the account manager in the accounting department of his company. Her babies had grown healthy and strong. A nanny helped her care for them during work hours. Joyce's life was finally filled with peace. Meanwhile, far away in another part of the city, Adam sat alone in his living room. He stared at the wall, deep in thought. It had been 6 months since he saw Joyce on the news with 4 babies. He covered his face with shame. "How could I have been so blind?" he whispered to himself. He had tried everything to find her. He asked the friends she once had, but none of them knew where she lived now. Then he remembered Selena. He went to her old house hoping for answers, but he was told she had moved out long ago. He was told that a black SUV had taken Selena and the woman with 4 babies. Adam stood there frozen. He realized how far he had pushed her away. 9 months earlier, Adam's life had fallen apart. At first, he walked proudly around the house, carrying Elena's baby, feeling like a real father. But the truth soon showed itself. Elena began demanding money every day. At first, Adam did not notice anything wrong. He was rich. He did not care. But then contracts stopped coming in as they used to. Many companies refused to renew deals with him. His business started shaking, and Elena did not stop asking for more money. Adam stayed home more often. That was when he noticed strange things. She always kept her phone close. She left the house to answer calls in secret. She stayed awake at night, laughing while texting. But Adam was too blind with pride to suspect anything. One afternoon, he sat in the living room trying to call a friend about a new contract. Then he heard a phone ring on the chair beside him. It was Elena's phone. He saw the caller name on the screen. "My love." Adam stared at it. His heart shook. He waited for the call to end. Then he opened the phone. It was unlocked. Messages filled the screen. Elena and the man called My Love had been speaking for a long time. They talked about how they would run away with Adam's money. They talked about how foolish Adam was. Adam dropped the phone. His heart felt like it had stopped. Elena walked in from the kitchen and saw him holding her phone. She did not even pretend. She laughed. "You finally found out. You are a fool," she said. She went into the bedroom, packed her clothes into a suitcase, carried her child, and walked out of the door. Adam stood still, broken. The child he once called his heir was not his. The woman he married never loved him. The woman who truly loved him, he threw away. Even his mother had gone back to the village. He was alone. One day, Adam's friend sent him an address. "Go there," his friend said. "They might be interested in your building proposal." Hope sparkled in Adam's eyes. Maybe this was a chance to rebuild his life. 2 days later, he drove there for the meeting. As he stepped out of his car, he froze. Right in front of him, a woman stepped down from a car holding her phone. Joyce. His heart jumped. He did not know how to walk up to her. He stood still, watching her like a man who had seen a ghost. Inside the boardroom, the meeting began. To his shock, Joyce was one of the managers. She sat across from him, calm and professional. They asked him questions. Joyce asked the smartest ones. He struggled to answer. At the end, he was given the contract. He should have been happy, but he could not smile. He looked at Joyce and felt a pain sharper than any insult. He had lost something precious. After the meeting, when everyone had left the boardroom, Adam followed Joyce to the parking lot. She was about to enter her car to go for her lunch break. "Joyce, please," he said. "I am sorry. Forgive me." Joyce nodded gently. "Adam, I forgave you long ago. I needed to forgive so I could move on." He tried to hold her hand, but she pulled away. "You can see your children," Joyce said calmly. "They deserve a father, but we can never be husband and wife again." Adam's voice shook. "Joyce, please, we can rebuild things. I made a mistake. I know your value now." Joyce looked into his eyes. "If a man must lose something before he knows its worth," she said, "then he does not deserve it." She turned and walked away. Adam stood there, tears in his eyes, watching the woman he had lost forever. He dragged his feet back to his car and cried where no one could see him. He knew the truth now. He had thrown away gold for a handful of sand. On the other side of the city, Joyce smiled as she carried her babies. Selena came every weekend. The nanny helped her daily. Her life was filled with blessings she never dreamed of. Joyce said to herself, "With God, all things are possible. Nothing is impossible." And truly, her tears had turned into joy. The true meaning of her name has become her reality. They mocked Joyce. They called her barren. They pushed her out like she was nothing. But God turned her tears into testimony. The same people who laughed at her now shook their heads in shock. The same man who threw her away now cried for what he lost. And the woman they said could never have a child became a mother of 4 at once. Sometimes, when people think your story has ended, God is only getting started. Moral lesson: never look down on anyone who is struggling. Never judge a woman because she has no child. Only God gives children. Delay is not denial. The stone that the builders rejected can become the cornerstone. And when God decides to bless someone, no human can stop it. My wonderful viewers, what did you learn from Joyce's story? Which part touched your heart the most? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to read every one of them. And guess what? I have another very interesting story coming up in a few days. So please subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified the moment the new story drops. If you enjoyed this story, do not forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends and loved ones. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you and keep you.